Isn't it weird that if you agree with anything that I'm about to say, the majority of society will consider you a right-wing extremist? If you believe that injecting children with vaccines isn't a good idea, but eating healthy to prevent illness is a good idea, or if you believe that the sun isn't so bad, but sunscreen full of toxic industrially manufactured chemicals isn't good, or if you believe that raw milk from an organic farm with no additives is better than milk from a factory farm, the majority of society will consider you a right-wing extremist. Just 50 years ago, these beliefs were...
Hi, sweetie. Gun-owning Democrat here who grew up on raw organic milk that I milked from cows myself at 5 a.m. in the morning with my family before I would go to school and practice plant medicine. People don't think that you're right-wing because of your opinions. We believe you're right-wing because of your insistence to deny good science. Vaccines have not only been proven safe and effective, but they've also eradicated entire diseases and saved millions of lives. So you say 50 years ago it was common to reject vaccines. That's not true. They've been overwhelmingly popular throughout history. Some of you just decided that Jenny McCartney was better than your doctor to listen to for advice, even though she didn't have any scientific evidence to claim that her son got autism from a vaccine. That's not a real thing. See, the first smallpox vaccination happened in 1796, where they used cowpox to inoculate against smallpox. And the disease that would ravage entire cities was then later eradicated because of that vaccine. And by the way, back in the 1700s, when this first started working, all they had was whole organic foods. They didn't have processed foods, and they would frequently die from the flu. Now, I believe in whole foods and eating healthy can resolve a lot of disease and prevent a lot of disease, but it's not going to do jack shit against something like measles or the smallpox. And we don't die from the flu as often now with modern medicine, even though back in the day when they did eat raw organic milk and they had only raw organic homemade foods, they still died from the flu. And we should absolutely be careful about the chemicals we put on our skin, but we also know from science that too much chronic sun exposure causes skin cancer, which is extremely deadly if it's not caught right away. And with things like raw milk, we know that not only is it more expensive, but it carries a higher risk of bacteria and sickness if it's not regulated properly. So we're not going to adhere to administration that's removing regulations that keep forever chemicals off our food and doesn't want to make sure that that organic milk is safe. We also know that it's more expensive, and we understand nuance like food deserts and poverty. And I would rather a kid have pasteurized milk that's not going to make him sick to meet his calorie goals than for me to push raw organic milk on him. And those of us who grew up far right understand that the whole trad life and trad wife trends are in fact pipelines to bring people into the conservative mindset, especially young women, because young women are leaving those lifestyles. It tells women this is all they need. A man will take care of them. It's easy and wonderful. Not telling them that without an education, it is the #1 predictor of elder poverty and abuse in their lives. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the trad lifestyle or the trad wife style if that's actually what you want, but people should know the inherent risk, and there is a problem when you use it as a political tool to reel people in for political or religious gain.